Good evening.
Evening.
They gave me a very difficult task to speak on my personal experience. And I thought for a moment, where would I begin from? To be honest with you, I need 2 weeks to give you my personal story. Because when I joined the struggle in 1987, I was only 17 years. And I was basically forced out of the school. I was first conscripted. By conscription, I mean I was forced to join the armed forces, trained by the Sudan government forces, sent to Southern Sudan to go and fight my own people. And you can see the complex of the story. Being from Southern Sudan, sent to Southern Sudan to go and fight my own people and kill them in the name of Islam, basically an Arabism, because the whole idea was to transform Sudan into an Arab country and to an Islamic country. Being a Christian, of course, I resented the idea. I escaped from the military barracks in northern Sudan. I went to the south. 7 days upon my arrival in a city called Wau. And to just take you back a little bit, I was born in a city called Wau in southern Sudan, long time ago in 1968. I'm 39 years old. I'm a single father. Yes. I'm very single. Yeah, basically, I was apprehended 7 days upon my arrival to my hometown in Wau. I spent 6 months in jail. I was tortured. And this is mainly the reason that I did not even want to speak about my personal experience in the beginning. But just looking on the crowd here, I decided that I would just give you a few segments of my life story. After 6 months in jail, I was bailed out, and I was told to report myself on a daily basis to the military barrack in Wau town. One day in October, while on my way to report myself as usual with a group of students and other politicians that were arrested, we met with a group of Sudan armed forces on the way, and we thought they were just patrolling the area, but basically they were waiting for us. They opened fire on us randomly, and a number of students and citizens who were with me got killed. I escaped unharmed. I ran into the bush, and was apprehended by the Sudan's People Liberation Army forces. I spent 2 days in the SPLA jail, SPLA, which I became part of after 2 days, when they confirmed my story and they knew that yes, a number of students were killed. I was released from jail, and I was asked to go back home to Wau town. I told them that I can't go back home. I would join the struggle. And since 1987, I became part of the SPLA. I went to Ethiopia for trainings. I went to different countries. I was an officer in the army prior to coming to the United States. I left the SPLA when I was a captain in the army. I commanded troops from platoon to company, and actually to a task force, which was consisted of 375 men. And I did that for 13 years prior to coming to the United States. I will not tell you anything about the military operations. I don't want to go back there. I won't tell you what we did during those days. But basically the SPLM was started in 1983, and the reason was to fight the injustices in Sudan, and also to make sure that the identity of Sudan as a country is realized, because there is some sort of confusion in our country. A country that has over 572 different ethnicities, and only one segment of the group wants to dominate the country, from power to everything, of course, and even to change the constitution of the country to fit their own arrogance. That, of course, don't work with the people, and for that reason, people definitely resent it. And when you hear of the marginalized people, when you hear of the Darfur crisis or the Nubia or Southern Sudan, it's the same plight. It's the plight of the people that have been marginalized in their own country, and that is our problem in Sudan. Well, just let me try to finish this up. In order for Sudan and for the people of Sudan and my brothers and sisters here I see great leaders here, and I know the transformation of Sudan into one country, one united country that accepts one another will come from us. We have to change that. And the best way for us to do that is through a democratic transition. We came to the United States, we've learned the way of democracy in this country, and America is a great country, has given us a lot of opportunities. We will benefit from these opportunities, and we engage our people back home in Sudan in the same manner. The Sudan as a country to get out of the crisis of Darfur or Southern Sudan for that matter, and in order for Sudan not to break into many countries, Sudan needs transformation, a holistic transformation into a democratic country that realizes everybody's right. And for you here as activists and the United States and the international community, the best way for them to do with the Sudan is to put pressure on the Sudan government, the National Congress Party, which is the ruling party in Sudan, to honor agreements that they sign with any group that rebels against them. For example, the agreement between the Northern Sudan and Southern Sudan, the SPLM agreement, which is called the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, that agreement is not honored. To me, the agreement is totally dishonored, and the agreement does not make any sense at this point, because 2005, that was a total different agreement, and today the agreement is different because it has been renegotiated many times. The government, of course, pulls out of agreements. Darfur peace agreement that was signed in 2005 is also violated, or at least not implemented, not every segment of it. The Nubia, Nuruddin and Manan just mentioned what is happening in the Nubia area, and I don't want to revisit that. And soon enough, if that is not addressed, the issue of Nubia is not addressed also, there will be war in the Nubia. People there will, of course, take up arms, because that's the easy way to get your voice heard in Sudan. And I believe that the international community must mobilize forces and resources, and we together can, of course, come up with these activities and put pressure on the Sudan government to honor these agreements, to accept these agreements. And of course, at the end, justice must prevail. I hear, or maybe I'm dreaming, that the Sudan president is now on the ICC list, or at least wanted to be apprehended. That has to happen, because nobody is above the law. When someone becomes a criminal, kills innocent people, justice has to take course. And I will definitely denounce even my own party, the SPLM, if in case they say that we stand by the government to, in order for us to implement the agreement. Let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, the agreement was already dishonored. So there's no agreement that can be protected by protecting criminals. Thank you.
All right, give it up again to my brother Angelus. Thanks very much for sharing with us. Before we get into